Welcome to My Black Tea. Today, I have the opportunity to talk to Savyyan. Um, My Black Tea is a YouTube channel that was created for our youth in our community to be able to express themselves about different situations that's going on in their community. This channel is for you, going to be by you, and it's for to help other people to realize that they are not the only ones that feel the way that you feel. Okay? So anything that you have to say when I ask you these questions or one question, depending on our time, feel free to just be open to whatever it is that you need to say that's on your heart, okay? All right, you can introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Savyyan Griffin. I'm a 19-year-old college at Georgia Military College student there, and honestly, I'm glad to really be here.
I'm glad you're here too. We definitely appreciate you coming to Blue Ellen Recreation Center. We also appreciate you participating today with us. Okay, as a 19-year-old black youth here in this community, you live around here?
I do live around here. I do.
Okay. With everything that's going on, could you give us a outlook on how does that affect you? First of all, what do you see going on, and how does that affect you as a young black man?
Well, depending on who you're around or where you go, you have some good people here, you have some good people there. It's really on the matter of preference with people because some people are good people, other people are bad people. It happens here and there, but to me, in most cases, the community has really helped me more than hurt me. So, I mean, I've been here long enough to see some of the bad things that's happened, some of the good things that's happened. I mean, it's not always, just bad, but it's really sometimes good depending on how you really take care of yourself and how you actually, mind yourself in the neighborhood. Because, I mean, it's always good to do that.
Okay, could you give me an example of some of the good that you see in your neighborhood?
Well, one thing is my old school, Carver High School,
Okay.
and they have always been good people, trying to help support kids for what they have to do with their dreams and stuff like that. The band is crazy. I love the band. They're amazing people. I used to be in it when I was actually there. Everything was more of a actual good thing there because they have good discipline. They have pretty much everything you would really want in a band. Because I mean, discipline's the main thing though. Because when I was in there, you had to really know your stuff to even do anything. You had to be really able to be willing to do the hard work without the attitude part and stuff like that. You really had to be able to really work through a lot of things that you were going through, even though you were going through some things at the time. And even when you were really, really down, you had really good teammates and people that actually would help you to power on through.
Oh, great. That sounds great. And what about some of the bad things that's happening in your neighborhood? What have you seen? Have you lost any friends um in the
Not,
last couple of years to violence or anything?
I haven't lost any friends, nothing like that.
Good for
No.
you.
But I've seen some friends come and go. Some of them end up in jail. Some of them end up actually working really good jobs. I mean, it's a gamble, but honestly, even for me right now, there's one thing I will say that does need to be changed. That being sometimes, depending on how you see it, parenting, well, with different things, not all things, just different things. Because from my perspective right now with my parents, it hasn't always been the best. Comparing to when it comes to a love hate relationship for different things and how me and my mother mostly are going through it. We used to be more connected earlier in the years when I was younger, but now it's like more of drifting away for reasons that I will not be sharing at this moment because it's just a lot. I mean, it's really a lot for me, and the fact that I'm actually trying to power through this with a lot of hope, even though I know that there's not that much hope left.
Mhm.
It shows that I'm just willing to keep going through everything that I've actually ever been through.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you definitely giving it some hope, even though you feel like there is none, and I'd like to encourage you and anyone else that's going through some of the difficulties at home. I'm glad that you brought that up because a lot of times parents are being blamed for what's going on a lot of time in their children's lives, and hearing the child's perspective on it, lets us know that it's not always the children. It can be either way, or it could be a combination of both.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the truth. I mean, it happens that way. It really
right.
does happen that way because I mean, most people commonly think that okay, the children are the people who are smart enough to really think this at this age, because like back in the day with children, they were smart enough to think some things like that, but not as much as it is nowadays. So I understand the evolution part of that thinking process, but it's not always the children's fault. You can't always blame a child for something that you know was your fault for something that you did back in the day. If it was a mistake or something like that, yeah, I mean, just own up to it. It's your mistake. You can't always blame it on your children. However, if it's in the matter of really just defending them because you don't want them to go through that same mistake, I understand that. But don't try to force it and push it to the point where literally you're driving your child away from you, making them fear you more than, oh, I can trust my mom. Let me just tell her this, this, and this. We talk about it and then go on about our day. Like most parents nowadays are not like that. Most parents are actually just trying to overreact to some things that they believe that it's not right because back in their time, okay, yes, it's not right. It was not okay, but some parents have forgotten the point of evolution that times change, things change, everyone changes, rules change, like everything changes to the point where they feel like okay, they can't really handle it and they need help handling it. Which I understand that because I mean, hey, I mean, times change every day, but you can't stay stuck in that one area of your life forever. At one point, because if you don't evolve, like if you don't like really like let your mind grow
Mhm.
in a positive way and all that stuff, being open minded, it leads to a path of where okay, I may think this right, but it's really not. And but I don't think this is right, but it actually is right. Like it's like it confuse it leaves you in a conflict of what is right and what is wrong.
Mm. So, what do you think would be a good solution for parents that face that dilemma? What do
One
you
thing
think
is
can really help?
I say look into your children more, but look at them with an open mind. Like, okay, look into
Sorry.
okay, look into why this would be a thing. Like look into okay, why would this change? Why would that change? Look into actual open positive reasons of okay, this could be useful for that, this could be useful for this, it may help him with that, it may help him with this. And when you look at it from that point in perspective, how it can help and or hurt them, you get to see okay, maybe I am doing a little bit too much. Let me back off. And then sometimes when you actually need to step in, and when you need to like to actually step in, it's like okay, now I actually step in because it could change over time depending on how the child reacts, how he acts with different things, different people, because you can't judge everything based off of like your own opinion because you feel like okay, it's not good for you, then it's not okay for the child. But sometimes it could be the direct opposite. Maybe sometimes it's not okay for you because of what you grew up on. But in
Mhm.
this day and age, this things have changed. Okay, maybe it might be okay for him. So let him feel that out and see if he likes it. If he ends up not liking it, okay, he doesn't like it. But however, if he does like it, don't try to pull him away from it. Try to motivate him and support him as long as he needs that support. Like trying to support him in a way to where it's like, okay, he sees you are trying to understand him so he can come to you more instead of going away from you like if you were trying to push him away.
Hmm. Okay, that's some powerful stuff there. So with dealing what it is that you're dealing with your parents, okay, what do you think that you could do as a child to try to express this more so that maybe because it sounds like you got a pretty good understanding of what the solution could be, but what is it that you could do to be able to convey this message to your parent? What could you do?
Well, most notably, I see that they only like with my parents. They only try to communicate with something if it's actually relatable to them in their way. Basically, me putting my putting my feet in their shoes,
Mhm.
which most of the time you have to do that to be relatable to people because most people are being relatable in many ways nowadays. So what I would do is try to make it relate to them, but also try to make it relate to where it's like, okay, this is how y'all used to do some things and everything else like that. But I would explain to them how it has changed due to certain things that has happened over time. And
Okay.
with that, try to make it seem like, okay, is this like so now y'all would see why this is good here, why this is good there, to make help them understand, okay, I'm not trying to do all this stuff for unnecessary reasons or bad reasons and stuff like that. I'm doing it because of such and such reason. Because I mean, times
Things
have
have
changed.
changed.
Yeah, like you have
Mhm.
to really be able to learn how to adapt to a new culture, to a new way of culture,
Mm.
all that. Because if you really don't, like many adults have told me, the world will leave you behind if you stay in that one place forever.
Mhm. That's right. Okay, well, we definitely got some good information from this um very, very open-minded young man. So, if you could give us anything to leave with the world today, what would be your encouragement, inspiration, words of wisdom that you would just like to tell people that's going through whatever they're going through today?
Well, I'd say this. One thing is this: stay open-minded. Don't let anyone try to close your mind. You don't want that because if you close your mind, you get to be shut out of things that you could use to actually help yourself in this day and age. Keep yourself open-minded. Keep yourself positive. Don't try to do things that you know would actually hurt someone that you would love. Try to put yourself in other people's shoes at all times because you never know how that person is like feeling at the time, stuff like that. Like stay civil. So try to like make it be like, okay, try to understand how that person feels by by putting yourself in their shoes. Like actually anything they tell you about their like family, friends, what they're going through, try to imagine that, but except instead of them going through it, imagine you going through it and how you would feel if you went through it and compare it to where it's like, okay, now I know I'm glad because I didn't have to go through that and I knew I could have. And try to like keep yourself more positive moving towards people. Don't ever try to like be too mean to someone because you feel like, okay, my parents don't like these people, let me not like these people. No. You do it based off your own judgment. Do it based off your heart, not your head. Because sometimes your head could be wrong. Because you have to really be able to know what you are doing before you even do it. And that's with everything.
All righty then. Well, you heard it right here on My Black Tea. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you will join us again. Let's say bye.
See y'all later.